Now we have calculated the total, the average, the maximum and minimum of our information. Now in this other lesson, I'm going to show you how to add values in this information. Now let's say, for example, this information is only from January, or is the expenditure from January to May. But let's say now we are in June and we have made some expenses, and we want to add that into this information. So we're not going to add it after the minimum column, but what we're going to do now is we are going to add it between the F column and the G column, that is between May and total, so that we can be able to add June there. Now to do that, what we need to do is we have to add a new column, right? Now to add a new column is quite easy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the column at the right hand side, which is total, because when you insert a column, the column will be inserted on the left side. So I have to choose the right one, which is the total, so that when I insert the column, it will insert it at the left hand side. So when I click on the G column, the whole column will be highlighted from top to bottom. Then I'll right click on any of the highlighted areas of that selected column, then I will click on insert. This will insert a fresh new column between May and total. So as you can see, total was column G, but now total is column H. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on this cell, which is cell G2, then I type June, then from there I will come and enter the information. Now look what will happen here. Now let's put in mind that here we have 12,000 as our total, 12,500. The average, the minimum and the maximum, they are all the same amount. But let's add a value. Let's add 2,500. Then we press the enter key. Now you see what happens. There is an automatic update. The total is updated. It was 12,500, but now we have add 2,500. Then the total will automatically update and give you what? 15,000, because it will add the new 2,500 that we add for June, right? So let's try it here. Here we have 12,800 as our total. We have 2,560 as our average. We have the maximum is 3,500 and the minimum is 1,900. So let's say I add here 1,600, right? I'm going to add 1,600. Now when I hit the enter key, you will see that there is an update. The total now is 14,400, right? And the average also changed. Now it is 2,400, because remember the average is the total divided by the number of items you add, or the number of values you add. So before, the total was, the average was, we divide the total by 5, that is from January to May. But when you add another value, it will divide the total now by 6, right? And as you can see, the maximum is still the same, because the value that you just added, which is 1,600, is less than 3,500. So 3,500 will still be the maximum. But when you look at the minimum, it was 1,900. But because you add a value that is less than 1,900, so now 160 is going to be what? The minimum. So you see how amazing Excel works. So because you used formulas, you use standard formulas when you were calculating all this information, all these values. That's why anytime you add extra values between those columns, Excel will automatically evaluate it and give you your results, right? So I'm going to show you something. Now let's say, for example, let me just come to this and I use the plus sign and I show you what will happen. So now I'm going to delete this total. Let's say here I use equals to B5 plus C5 plus D5 plus E5 plus F5. Then I hit the enter key. It will give me the same total, 9,555. It's the same. So what will happen here? Now let's say I add a value now. Let me just add 2,000. Then I press the enter key. You see what happens? No update. There will be no update. I add 2,000 on the June, but there is no update. The total is still the same. The average is still the same. The maximum is still the same. And the minimum is still the same. As you can see, I'm seeing some green triangles at the top left corner, right? That shows me that there's something wrong with my formula, right? So in that case, this is not the most standard formula, right? Use the sum function when adding, right? So I'm just going to get rid of this and I type it again, equals to sum, bracket open, and I highlight from here to here and I press the enter key, right? Good. But let me just start it all over. Let me just delete it. Then I can just say I can highlight from here to here, then I click auto sum, then I can come here, drag, click here, drag, click here, drag, right? So as you can see, it's having a decimal point, right? Because now it has divided by 6. So I can reduce this decimal point by coming to here on the home tab. Within the number group, I have what? A button called decrease and increase decimals. So when I just click on decrease decimals, you can see it's decreasing to 2 decimals, 1 decimal. If you want, you can set it to 0 decimals, right? Good. So let me just fill this blank so I can add 750 here, then automatically it will update. I can add 500 here, then there will be an update. Then when I come here, I need to add, or if I want, I can just click here and I use the autofill to fill the answer, then it will automatically add that range, right? So that's how simple you can add what columns, and Excel will automatically update the information, right? Remember, use standard formulas, use functions when adding. Good. Thanks for watching.